Alright, y'all, be back with another episode of High Time Reviews. Look, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe down bottom. We doing Kings of Napa, Season 1, Episode 5. So the episode start off with August sleep on the couch, and it's like this man standing over top of her. I don't know if he gonna try to kill her, or he just snooping, or whatever, but she seemed to got headphones in, so she can't even hear that the nigga in the crib. Eventually she wake up, so it's clearly a dream. It's clearly a dream for her. But she definitely getting a call from Grace. Grace is telling her, like, I need you to come down to the vineyard, like, ASAP. So she go down there. Grace basically show her a shit ton of fucking grapes that Christian then left out in the sun, and now they no good. So Grace tell her, like, look, you need to make a boss move. You need to fire your brother. You need to bring your sister Bridget back, because Bridget showed love to the vines. She like, ain't no way Christian can do this job. So she asked her how much of it, the grapes, did they lose. She told her about 15%. She said that's $500,000 in revenue. Her father would kill her. I mean, she should just kill the brother, honestly. That's what I would do. I mean, honestly, Christian don't do shit. Christian just be on there smashing and dashing. That's all he do. And living the fast life. Eventually, August gotta do what she gotta do. She gotta go to Vanessa. She gotta go to her mother. And she gotta hit her mother with it like, look, real is real. Bridget need to come back. Your son out here fucking the vines up. If you want this little dynasty to stay alive, Christian can't be at the helms of the grapes. It's just, that just ain't it. So surprisingly, her mother on board with the whole shit. And they devise a plan of how they gonna make it happen. And then the next thing you get Dana with a blindfold on, with Rose fucking walking him out somewhere. Sir, you should be walking her out somewhere. You fucking disrespected her in front of the whole family, and she up here making it up to you. Explain how that works. Chocolate covered strawberries, old ass baby sweet quiches and shit like this, and then she gives this nigga a book, and inside the booklet it is a fucking sperm clinic packet. So he looking at her in disgust. She like, look, we done had a tough time these last couple of weeks. We've been having a lot of sex, I guess, to make up for the beef that they've been having. And he like, yeah, I've been doing that all night long. So she like, well, that's not enough. I feel like we need a baby. So she like, I think you should go to a fertility clinic. He's having reservations because you know he's a dwarf. So he's not sure if he'll pass it. So he's like against it. And Rose is like, let's just take a chance. Think about your legacy. They end up hugging, but honestly, Dana don't look like he on board with it. So then the next thing you got Melanie and Bridget. Now, Bridget kicking Melanie the fuck out. She like, Ma, for us to get better after all this shit that happened, finding out you slept with your sister, husband, and had a love child with him, and now it's out, you might have to move somewhere else just for a little bit. Just for a little bit. So somebody knock at the door. It's fucking August and Vanessa, and they like pull out the house, and they basically damn near begging her to come back to the job. They like, look, we know we need you, and she like, oh, don't try to come to me now because y'all fucking failing, because y'all falling flat on y'all ass. Y'all let Christian fuck shit up, and now y'all want to come crawling back to me? Nah, Bridget ain't trying to hear that shit. But of course, they devise a whole plan. Originally, August and Vanessa was supposed to go to New York to meet vendors for the wine, the dinner wine. So instead of August going, her and Bridget switch spots. So basically, Vanessa and Bridget going to New York. She get back to the house and Yvette's there, and she straight tell Yvette like, look, bitch, you don't live here no more. What are you doing here? And Yvette like, look, bitch, I need to come back home. Honestly, I've been sleeping on Bridget's couch. Shit is like a fucking bed of nails. I can't fucking do it. And she like, You need to be doing some fucking work. You up in here begging about fucking trying to get your spot back in the house. She like, I got a meeting with the rep, you know, for the distro. And she like, look, what if I secure the distro? She like, can I move back in the house? She like, I mean, you'll never be able to secure this distro. We've been trying to get this nigga for years. The family, that is. So she like, of course, all right, bet. I'll make that deal. Cause she feel like it's not about to happen. And that's a feel like Yvette can't pull it off. So she like, all right, bet, it's a deal. Grace and August end up coming into the dining room and basically over talking loud enough for Christian to hear them that basically he's being fired and Bridge is coming back. So then he pulled August to the side. He like, look, August, I know you love your sister and all, but look at this shit right here that I found in her bag. He like, there's only a little bit of it for real, considering she had a whole fucking pound of fucking pesticide in her book bag. She like, what? He like, I think this the same shit that Sean and Sean's vineyard got poisoned with. So I'm thinking Bridget might be the person that's poisoning the vines and trying to extort us. So August don't believe it. So she like, all right, where you come up with this whole theory from? And he like, look, we gotta keep it to ourselves. We just gonna try to look into it without really looking into it. Ain't in there on his computer looking at the fertility doctor, because again, like I said, he on the fence. He don't want to pass the dwarfism down. But again, you don't even know what the percentages are for real. Like, I mean, he says a percentage, but that's like, bro, you could just as easily have a regular sized baby. I've seen the shit on TV before. So Yvette walked past his office. She see him in there. She can sense something wrong with him. So she go in there. She talked to him and she like, look, what's wrong with you? Granted, he's still mad about the whole her telling everybody that the mother was going to abort him shit. So he on the fence about even wanting to talk to her. So he like, look, even if it was something wrong with me, what makes you think I would tell you? So eventually she tears the walls down and she like, look, don't worry about the percentages of what could happen. She like, one way or another, you gonna love that baby, so you don't even need to feel like there's a thing inside of you that makes you feel like you can't do this. Try your hand, make it work. It's got August and Calvin. Now Calvin, I don't know if you real, bro. Like, your wife is still on the gram wearing her ring. You stop wearing yours. I don't feel like you and what's her name be together that heavy. You and August be together that heavy enough for her to not know if you still seeing your wife. So in my mind, you can't be trusted. So they at the bar, they enjoying like a little, I don't know if it's like a late lunch or a dinner. And she ended up spilling a little honey on her titty. So Calvin like, you want me to get that for you? And she like, oh, Calvin, you trying to get that for me? Whoopity whoopity whoop. Let me grab this. So he reach over and instead of looking at the titty, which we all probably would have done, I mean, he wipes it off, regular. You know, so they end up talking and they talking about their future, what they can do to make sure that this worked for them, this go round. So while they talking, of course, most randomest thing happened. She get a call, and it's Quincy, and Quincy is calling her and basically calling a meeting. One thing about them, they always got a little emergency meeting. They be having to get out of places real fast all the time. So her and Calvin end up running out of there, and come to find out they going to, the man that worked on their vineyard, they going to his hospital room. So they straight up ask him, like, she like, I can't even believe you would do that, like extorting my family. Like, why would you do that? And he like, extorting your family? He like, what the hell is y'all talking about? So they like, you wasn't extorting us? He like, no, I was just stealing some grapes, making my own wine. Honestly, your father knew about it before he died, but he was moving too slow to help me get my business actually started. So now August like, shit, well maybe Bridget is, they call it, the extortionist. So the next thing, you got Dana at the fertility clinic. I'm trying not to laugh at him in this chair, so I'm not gonna laugh at him in this chair. But he looking at the materials, and Rose is outside the door, and she like, baby, how's it going? And he like, not replying. So he starts going through the material. Honestly, weirdest beat off material I ever seen. So he ends up stumbling across Investment Today with a title on the front that says How to Be a Billionaire in a Year. Granted, it was some regular nudie mags there, but that turned him on. So I'm guessing after August and them left the hospital with Otis, they end up back at the house with Quincy, and Quincy is going over the information that he didn't discover. So what he tells them is that the extortionist calls have been coming from a cell tower near Bridget's house. Not necessarily Bridget's house, but a cell tower in their area. So Christian still don't trust it. Christian like, fuck that. Quincy like, look, I done seen this shit happen before. He like, I got something for y'all. So he like, look, let's bug the joint. And August, granted, she just got her sister for real. That's her sister. She on the fence. She like, no, I'm not trying to bug her shit. Like, that's dead ass wrong. Like, what if we're wrong? Like, we bug her shit and we wrong, and that's our ass. Like, she like, she'll never forgive me. So now she on the fence. Christian like, look, we need to do something. Because if she is the extortionist, we can't keep paying her. And we can't have her working the vines. So that's that. So you get to New York. Honestly, the trip to New York didn't even seem like it was actually a rep trip. Like, I don't feel as though Vanessa and Bridget went on that trip to go find representatives. Now, if Vanessa and August had went on that trip, that would have been strictly a business trip. But I felt like Vanessa wanted to take Bridget there to show her some shit, to sway her decision on how she fucked with her mother. So she takes her there. They at the little convention a little bit, so they at the wine convention or whatever, and they talking, but she like, I want to show you something else. So she ends up taking her to a fucking psychiatric nursing home. You know, and she like, why are we here? So at some point they come pushing the old lady out in the motherfucking wheelchair and shit, and she starts taking shots at fucking Vanessa. The lady literally shitting on Vanessa. So eventually come to, she like, oh mom. So this is Vanessa's mother, Bridget and them grandmother, talking hella shit about the mother. And then she had the nerve to think that Bridget, Melanie, not even. Two different complexions. Don't even understand how she came up with that. But you know what? I guess that's how dementia works. So, back at the house, fucking August is going through her mind, thinking about this time when her and Bridget was at her house and she was painting a portrait of her, and she basically told her that, like, if she had to kill somebody, she would do it strategically or some shit like that. So, with her thinking about that, along with the extortion, along with not knowing who trying to poison the vines and all that extra shit, she ends up having a panic attack. Thank God Christian home. Christian come through, talking through the panic attack, and he like, bitch, you ain't had one of these in years. He like, what's going on? And of course he knows what's going on, but he like, why are you harping on it like that? So of course, like I said, Christian end up saving his sister. They out there talking, and then Dana roll up. Now, Dana ends up knowing about Bridget being a suspect. And that's only because Christian told him. Christian like, shit, I tell him everything. I mean, that's his brother. What the fuck? So they all devise a plan to bug her shit to see what they get. And then they hug it out. But here's my thing. Don't hug it out after y'all agree to bug somebody's fucking house. Come on, that's crazy. Like, that is crazy. So you got Yvette there with the distro. She trying to get a deal off with the distro for the wine, for the different Pinots or whatever. He seems to be a little interested in her more than just her presentation, you know. So granted, but she's selling it too. She got the titties all in his face. She wore a low cleavage. She knew she was doing granted. So oh boy, he gets sucked in. He like, look, I looked into you. I like you. I like what you give. I like your vibe. He like, I like you over the rest of your family, for real, for real. He said the rest of them act stuck up and shit. You give me very laid back, chill. And like, they end up agreeing to cut a deal. But then they also end up deciding to go out. So he straight tell her like, that's the best time he had drinking that wine with her in years. So August at the house on the phone with Calvin, and she, for some odd reason, she just looking through her flowers and her shit, and she pick up one of her portraits, and she feel the back of the portrait, and it's a fucking camera on there. It's a whole fucking camera on there. So not only is they bugging Bridget's house, but somebody bugging August's house. So she hurry up, and again, like I said, they always be in a fucking rush on here. She fucking hung up on Calvin rather than just telling Calvin, but honestly, she shouldn't tell him, because if Calvin is the extortionist, he don't need to know too much more information. He already know everything about them. Like I said, I think he the extortionist because he feel indebted to the family. He's known them for years. That's usually how that works. You can't be calling them at particular places that only a person that knows them know. So, I don't know, man. Don't trust Calvin. Wife still be wearing that ring on the gram. He be acting funny. Don't trust him. So back at the psychiatric ward, Vanessa and Bridget is talking, and she ends up telling her like, look, my father died because your mother used to be a wild child running the streets, and they ended up getting into an argument. My father died from like a brain aneurysm from the screaming. She like, I just wanted you to know who your mother was. She like, look, I love you. I want you back in the fold, but you gotta pick us or them. And I'm like, what? That's her mother. Like, and then it's like so many secrets with the family. Like, can't nobody really be trusted. And they all try to act like they want each other, they trust each other. All y'all some liars. Honestly. All y'all. Like, so you're back at the house, and you got Rose, Christian, and August in the room, and Bridget come back in, and everybody act all fake excited to see this shit. Christian giving her ass the side eye. He don't give a fuck. He got his eye out on her. So she like asking her how the trip was, and you know, she like, you want to unwind before you go back to work this week? And she like, no, I want to go out in the vines now. She like, the vines calm me down. She like, why would you say calm me down? She like, you know, our trip was a lot, and you know, I learned stuff. And with this family, you always learn stuff. So I'm not surprised. So she just go out. But she asked Rose on the way out, like, Rose, you want to go dancing? So I'm like, oh. Okay. So her and Rose is like homegirls. So she brushing off her sister for Rose. Okay. All right. If that's what's going on. So eventually she making a call on her way out. And this is the part I feel like nobody talked about. She ends up on the phone with some white guy, and he asks her, he said, I thought that was part of your plan. She like, don't worry about it. I got something else. So back in the mansion, well, they was just at the venue. So back at the regular part of the house, you got Yvette fucking walking the distro out after they had a night of fucking rendezvous. He's trying to stay. She like, look, you need to go, because I ain't even fucking supposed to be here. So I can't have you fucking gallivanting all through the fucking place, and I ain't supposed to be here. So get your ass out, old man. But both of them had fucking naked. I don't understand how she kicking him out like that. At least get him at his fucking shit so he can go. Y'all standing in the doorway kissing. You could have gave him that 5 minutes to put his shit on so he don't look crazy. So after she kicked him out the house, she realized she still had his shoes. She tossed nigga's shoes out the fucking door. And then when she turned around, fucking Vanessa there, she like, oh, let me guess, you secured that deal. She like, oh, I definitely secured that. She said, I used my brain and some other things. I said, oh, she definitely put that thing on him. Cause he talking about, she made him feel like Idris Elba. I said, oh, all right, well, there you go. And then Vanessa like, look, well, bitch, I guess the deal is what the deal is. You back in the house, cool. And then she looked at her as she sashaying up the steps. She like, bitch, is that is that my robe? And she just run off. So I'm like, oh my God, yo, not the fucking robe. So August run down on Dana, cause she like, at this point, I know exactly who put these fucking cameras in my house. Dana. So she run down, she throw the fucking cameras at Dana. She like, why the fuck are you bugging me? And he like, look, cause I know you weak. You weak as shit. You don't know how to deal with none of these situations we dealing with. I'm stronger than you, and I saw you looking at fucking new CFOs. She like, nigga, yeah, dumbass, if you wasn't so fucking impressed watching some fucking footage of me, instead of asking me what I was doing, you would know that I was trying to hire a new CFO so that I could promote your goofy ass. And he like, I don't believe you. She like, I don't care. She like, but you know what? It would have been the dumbest thing I ever did in my life had I did it. So she's like, fuck it. And she roll out on his ass. So then you got them two. Then you August and Calvin. They just been getting their spots this episode. I don't know why. Again, don't think if you show them more, I'ma like him. And I'm still looking at his ring finger every time. Every time I'm trying to figure out what one of these scenes is he gonna slip up and have that motherfucker on. So it looked like they back at their high school. I'm guessing it's Napa prep. And her and Calvin sitting on the bleachers and they talking, and they had like a fake picnic. She ended up pulling out the Pinot out her bag, and she showed it to him, and he like, damn, that's my favorite. And she also showed him a little picture of them two from high school. So he basically ended up telling her like, yeah, you don't drink Pinot no more, but you feel me, now that I'm back in that picture, you gonna be drinking a lot more Pinot. So I guess that was like a penis joke he made. So she ended up taking out this motherfucking trench coat, and she got on her little high school fucking cheerleading costume. And I'm looking and I'm like, oh, they about to act crazy. So I didn't know if she was gonna go down on the field or what, but she ended up straddling my man on the bleachers. Oh, August King. I had to act crazy. But the ending of the episode is what really gets me, though. Like, big time. So Bridget and Rose come back. They both drunk as a bitch. But then Bridget still trying to pour up drinks at the house. She like, bitch, you want a drink? And Rose like, I'll take one. You feel me? But she can sense something is wrong with Bridget. And what's her name? Throw her shot back. But Rose Tree fucking babysit her shit. So she like, something ain't right about this bitch. So she asks her like, bitch, what's up with you? She like, nothing. She like, I'm sure I'm good. She like, oh, I forgot. Shit, she fucking tells fucking Rose that she been knew Reggie was her father. First one was, I kind of already figured that. When they said that them two had a standing appointment every fucking week at that place by the bank, I said, why would they have a standing appointment? What would be the point of them two having a standing appointment every week if Reggie ain't know that was his daughter and she ain't know that was her father? So she ended up telling Rose that. Rose like, bitch, you lied. You made us think you ain't find out until the fucking reading of the will. She like, look, there's a lot of lies in this family. Fuck it. She like, it's just one more, for real. So she like, look, I'm trying to figure out a way out this family. Rose ended up getting all close to her and shit, and she ended up kissing this bitch. I was like, oh shit. I was like, definitely ain't see this coming. I mean, they talked about how Rose used to fuck with women, but I ain't know what Bridget was giving. So Bridget ended up like sexy kissing this bitch, and they look good. Shit, I prefer to see them two over Dana and Rose. Honestly, they look cute, and she like, you don't need this family. She like, run away with me. She giving like she want to run away with it and shit. And they just into it. And I'm like, all right, well. She caressed her face and she like, look, I can't do it. She like, I'm married. And they going for one more kiss. And then fucking Rose realized what the fuck she doing. Rose realized what the fuck she doing. She back up. She like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. She fucking beelines out the fucking apartment. Fucking whole time Dana ass was fucking watching. So I don't even know how he about to take a look. That was the end of the episode. I don't even know what Dana about to do with that information. He already on the fence with this bitch, and then he done went to the fertility clinic with her, and he don't even know how to feel after seeing her kissing on this bitch and seeing that Bridget is trying to take down the family. So now he think he can't trust neither one of them. I guess we're gonna have to wait till next week. Look, y'all, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe down bottom. This is HighTimez signing out. Bye.